Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to feed leopard geckos.
I'm bringing sexy back.
What the Anyway, sorry for that random intro. I don't know what happened. So like I said before, I'm going to show you guys how to feed leopard geckos. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what to actually feed your leopard gecko. Leopard geckos are insectivores, meaning they will eat insects. In the wild, they can eat some creepy stuff like spiders and scorpions. But in captivity, you probably don't want to feed them that. The most popular feeder insects are crickets and mealworms. These are widely available. You can buy them at almost any pet store, and they're quite cheap. Other insects you can feed to your leopard geckos are superworms, waxworms, dubia roaches, silkworms, phoenix worms, etc. These are a little bit more harder to find, but they're still widely available. Waxworms will eventually turn into a moth. They are super high in fat, so you shouldn't feed your gecko too many of these. They serve as a treat only and shouldn't be a main food source. Superworms are basically giant mealworms. So you shouldn't feed adult superworms to babies because they're pretty big. And dubia roaches are actually one of my favorite food sources because they're active and they're easy to take care of. They don't make noise like crickets, and their shells are quite soft, so your gecko can digest it no problem. Now, because we're only able to give a small variety of insects to our leopard geckos, they're not getting all the nutrients they need. We need to actually buy special supplement powders to give to them in order to make them stay healthy. Okay, so what I have here are supplement powders. You can buy these at most pet stores. This one is a Repcal Herptovite multivitamin supplement, and this one is a calcium supplement by Fluckers. Both brands are very good, but you need to buy a calcium and a vitamin supplement powder. Period. Now, these supplements can be a little bit costly, but you have to buy them because without these supplements, your geckos won't be healthy. A common disease caused by lack of calcium is called a metabolic bone disease, and without these supplements, your gecko could get it, and it's not very pleasant. So now I'll step out and show you guys how to give the supplements to your leopard gecko. Alright, so there are two main ways of doing this. First, I'll show you the first one, and then I'll show you the second one. How about that? So the first one is called the shake and bake technique. Basically, you just get a plastic bag like this, or a plastic container. You put the calcium supplement in it, just put a little bit, and put the insect in, right? And then you close the top and just shake it like this. So shake it until the insects are covered with powder. Usually it works better with crickets and waxworms and stuff like that. Mealworms, they're a little bit harder to stick to because their bodies are very smooth. So now it's a good idea to keep a shallow dish of calcium dust in your gecko's tank at all times. Just in case you forget to dust the insects or just too lazy, this will keep as a backup, and your gecko will lick it when it feels like it. So a common question asked is, how many times do I dust the insects? Well, for calcium, 3 times a week should be fine, and vitamins, no, 1 or twice. Babies and gravid females, which means pregnant females, they do need a little bit more calcium, so dust the insects for them more frequently. So now we're gonna feed our leopard geckos. I'm doing this my way, like I said before, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm feeding 2 of my leopard geckos today. Lizzie ate yesterday, so I'm not gonna feed her today. I feed my adult leopard geckos every other day with around 4 insects. Today they're getting mealworms. I don't like overfeeding my animals, because when you overfeed them they get fat and it's not healthy, and they're not always hungry when you overfeed them, and it's not a natural thing for animals because in the wild food is scarce and they are always hungry. So feed them enough but don't overfeed them. Around 4 or 5 every other day should be fine, and that keeps them always hungry. Babies, feed them every day with around 3 insects. That should be fine. So let's head on and feed them. Alright, so what I'm using is a spoon. I like to feed them one mealworm at a time, even though you could put all the worms in a dish and just let them eat by themselves. But I like to watch my gecko eat, and it really brings out their hunting instincts. So you know, you could just put your mealworms in a dish and just let your gecko eat it when it wants to, but I prefer feeding it on time with a specific number of insects. See, that's a hunting state of mind. When they're in the state of mind, they're gonna go for it. But Jupiter over there, he's in a playing state of mind. He's not thinking about food. Even though if the mealworm is right in front of him, he's not gonna get it. So another point to think about when you're feeding crickets is that you can't keep them in a dish like mealworms, because they're just gonna jump out. I recommend feeding one insect at a time. That way you keep in track of them, and you make sure that all of them are eaten and none of them are left in the tank. Crickets especially are kind of dangerous when they're not eaten and they're left in the tank, because they can actually bite your gecko. So and you get to see them eat, so it's actually quite fun. Alright my delicious people, we've reached the end of this video, but don't be saddened, I will post more soon. And if you like this video, go ahead, click the subscribe button or the like button, and if you have a message or a question, just send me it and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I check my email like 3 times a day, so anyways, until then, watch good videos and do your research on leopard geckos, because that's very important. So until then,